We just showed our viewers a chart that showed equity prices for most Asian, publicly listed, of course, airlines, up 20%. So certainly there's something that the market sees there. We've seen earnings reports from other airlines that have confirmed that uptick in activity. What are you seeing from your end?
Yeah, I think all the airlines are seeing quite a strong demand at the moment. Oil prices are relatively stable. They probably will tick up a little bit over the next 6 months, but I think the long-term prognosis on oil is very good for airlines, that the prices are going down or stabilising. We've seen increased demand, particularly from mainland China. It's quite remarkable the number of people that are travelling from China to all over Southeast Asia and around the rest of the world. And that looks set to grow massively over the next 10 years. The number of people that are acquiring passports in China is off the charts globally right now. And also the aircraft, they're increasingly better value, easier to maintain. There's great availability of aircraft on the wide-body side at the moment. So I'm particularly bullish, not just for now. I think over the next 10 years it's going to be a very strong period for airline stocks.
The problem, though, when everyone is bullish is that industry tends to get overcrowded before anyone actually knows it, and it hits some of the airlines in the face. Are you looking to increase your routes to China? It's one of the things you've mentioned before you're looking at. How far along in that decision-making process are you when it comes to China?
We're growing very rapidly in China right now. We're opening 11 new routes in this calendar year. That's the biggest growth in new routes that Malaysia Airlines has ever seen in the history of the company. We're taking out some capacity from the domestic market in Malaysia. There is a huge price war taking place between the three main airlines, so we're taking a prudent decision to trim some domestic capacity, redeploy it internationally, and I think we're going to make much better returns from that. But generally in Asia, there is a capacity constraint around airports. Most of the major airports, including your own there in Hong Kong, have limited capacity now. The carriers that have got the slots at those airports, they're quite a valuable commodity in their own right now. And we're seeing increased yield on certain routes in capacity-constrained, slot-constrained airports. So I think the legacy players are probably going to profit from that over the next 5 or 10 years, where the infrastructure investment will be playing catch-up.
Can you tell us more about these 11 new routes you're looking at in China?
Yeah, so we are principally targeting at the moment the secondary cities in China, Chengdu, Chongqing, Hangzhou, Tianjin, and in all of these places the people are getting, generally they're first-time travellers or second-time travellers. They're coming to Malaysia because 30% of the population speaks Chinese. They can get Chinese food in every street corner, and they're very welcome in Malaysia. So it's a no-brainer for us. Literally, I was expecting a much longer lead-in time to see the routes breaking even or being profitable, but we've seen almost 90% load factors on many of the flights within a month of them starting, and that's pretty unique in my experience from aviation over the last 30 years.
And how do you plan to compete with the big Chinese airlines? Are you looking at pricing as one mechanism where you can perhaps get an advantage over those new routes?
In our case, it's about product and differentiation of the product and our service. On our wide bodies, we've got lie-flat beds, we've got fantastic food, we've got new in-flight entertainment, and most importantly, we've got some superb crew with some very old-fashioned Malaysian hospitality, great kindness and sincerity and warmth when you get on board. A lot of the Chinese visitors like travelling with us and other Asians because they feel as soon as they're on the aircraft, they're in Malaysia, and that's a strength we're going to play to over the next couple of years, and I think it'll do very well for us.
Speaking of aircraft, you're looking at new aircrafts. You've said that you'll make the decision by the end of the year. Are you leaning towards Boeing, towards Airbus? Tell us more about that.
We're talking to Airbus and Boeing at the moment. Boeing have a superb aircraft, the 787, but it's quite a bit more expensive than the Airbus A330. Airbus have an A330neo that should be flying by the end of this year. Looks like a super new aircraft, and it'll have great commonality with the A350s that we introduce in a couple of months' time. So we're talking to both of them. We haven't quite got the price I like yet from either manufacturer, but we're getting, I think, close to a decision on that over the next couple of months.
And suffice to say, if you do get the price you want, do you lean towards Airbus then?
It's all about value for money. I think that the 787 is a very known quantity, a superb aircraft, and also would give us great flexibility over the next 10 to 12 years if we see the need to go long haul again directly back to Europe. And that may be a feature for us when we see what happens in the shakeout of the Gulf carriers over the next 3 to 4 years. On the longer term, I'm very bullish about aviation. I think there's a number of things happening globally. We see the rapid acceleration in investment in renewable energy. You see solar panels dropped 98% in price since 2008. You've got, I think, the prospect from the next decade of oil being about $30, $35 a barrel. Aircraft generally are getting better value for money and they'll be cheaper to manufacture. But more importantly, I think there's about 1 billion people in the world who've got passports now. Within 7 or 8 years, I think that'll be up to 1.7 billion, a massive new market of people travelling.
It does look bullish, though, based on everything I've read. Very quickly, just one last question. Oil prices have remained low. Are you hedged? Are you looking to hedge? Do you not hedge in this environment?
We're hedged. We're hedged. We have a very boring philosophy. I think I still have my what we call confirmation money in Ireland. We hedge 12 months forward on a quarterly basis. Whatever the average of the hedge price is in that 12-month hedge, we hedge at the price. Sometimes we will get caught out, that will be a little bit higher but a little bit lower, but we will smooth out the price and we price our product accordingly. And I think for us that's a good philosophy. But you are seeing some carriers, including Ryanair, announced last week they're hedging right into 2019, and that's something we'll have to look at because there's great value in the hedging market right now.